Hello, my name is Matthew Souls, and I'm a full-time faculty member at SALA. The name of the studio I'm teaching this term is Architecture as Activism. We, of course, live in challenging times. There is no shortage of problems and crises that impact our species, society, and the more than human creatures with whom we share this planet. And as such, there is no shortage of pressing issues for the discipline of architecture to tackle. To name a few, those associated with climate change, rising sea levels, extreme weather events, wildfires, air pollution, whole host of challenges around houselessness, access to affordable housing, those relating to equity and access for marginalized peoples, questions around the right to the city, questions of public space and shared commons. And these are just a few. So this is a studio committed to the practice of architecture as making a positive contribution to improving the world by tackling challenges like these head on. Of course, there are many ways to practice architecture and many ways to be an architect. This is a studio focused on the question of how architecture can function as a form of activism. That is to say, how can architectural tactics and knowledge, things like measuring, imagining, drawing, visualizing, spatializing, occupying, how can these things be used to confront power structures and the status quo and work towards a tomorrow that is better than today? Well, architecture as activism has a long history. This is a studio that does not know what architectural activism in the 21st century looks and feels like. As such, this is a studio that will be an investigative adventure into the unknown, to experimentally search for the form, aesthetics, and character of a new activist agenda. The studio will commence with research into the history of activism in the 19th, 20th, and 21st centuries. We will work to identify the tactics and strategies of the most powerful and effective activist practices. Students will then be asked to identify an activist cause that is close to their hearts and to adopt this cause as the program of their design research for the bulk of the term. Students will be free to work as individuals or in groups of up to 3, depending on their desires and their selected activist cause. We will then work iteratively on designing an activist campaign that utilizes drawing, visualizing, and spatial tactics unique to the practice of architecture. However, this will not remain at the speculative design level. Students will be asked to deploy their activist tactics in, quote unquote, the real world. So this is a studio that will explore activism in action. The particularities of each campaign will be determined by each student or team of students, but may include such things as social media campaigns that unfold on Instagram or TikTok, postering campaigns where architectural renderings are plastered around the city, spatial installations in the city that reveal new insights on injustices, or performative actions that utilize architecture's unique spatial intelligence. I look forward to working with students interested in exploring what a beautiful, positive, inspiring, and impactful activism for the 21st century can be. Thank you, and I hope this brief presentation was informative.